Cheryl, it's been great to have you here for the last 5 days at our facilitating group creativity training with our group Synecticsworld. It's been exciting to watch the journey. You ran an incredible session today, and I'm excited to see where we can work with further.
Kyle, thank you. And tell me, what is Synecticsworld?
Synapsesworld is an innovation and creativity consultancy. We've been in existence for around 50 years, born out of Arthur D. Little in Cambridge, and over the last 50 years we have been documenting, studying and analyzing how teams, collaborative teams and cross-functional teams come together to work together to reach breakthroughs, and what are the elements of that interaction that make for breakthroughs, and what are the elements of interaction that don't. And teaching and transferring and facilitating teams to be able to reach those breakthroughs every time against complex challenges.
Well, you had some sessions this morning,
Yeah.
and I was wondering if you could share with us a little bit about what was accomplished in those sessions and what were the tasks.
Yeah, so there were three different sessions. So this is obviously the fifth day with 5 days of training. On the fifth day, we start to work with the real groups, and the three groups that were facilitated today, we had the really impactful filmmakers Josh and Rebecca Tickell from Green Planet Productions, and they are looking at the future and new movies on how to help the world move and disconnect themselves from fuel to find alternative methods. We had the Shakti Tribe, which are a music group and a music movement that are looking to expand and grow global consciousness and pull collaboration and collectiveness together, working on the future layer of their expression, of their music, but also of the movements. And we had Richard Burke, who's from inside Hollywood, and he was working on the next layer of his business and how to empower actors, and how to empower the industry to be self-sustaining, to actually help young expressive actors from all around the world be able to come and make a career for themselves in America and elsewhere.
Whenever there's a session, what is the goal of each session with the client?
The goal of each session, the goal of each client in their session is that they start with a complex challenge. It'll be a task or an opportunity or an issue, and then given the allotted period of time, it's coming away with a very powerful breakthrough, a completely new way, a new solution that they could use to that answers that task, that they can use to drive their business forward, drive their services forward.
And Kyle, you do this all over the world, right?
Yeah.
You must have had some amazing experiences.
Yeah, so around 17 countries, more than 50 to 70 brands, in more than 100 cities.
What's the most interesting task you've ever had to innovate for a company?
The most interesting task I've ever had to innovate for a company. That is really interesting. You kind of got me on the spot there, because there's so many. I would think that I'd have to kind of galvanize a few of them. For me, the most interesting task that companies ever ask me to facilitate is, what is the next layer of who we're going to be? And often that's got to do with future thinking. So if we were existing 30 years from now, who would we be? And what are we doing? What are the services that we're running?
And how are you relevant?
And how are we relevant? And how are our customers and consumers working with us? And I always find that when a company is taking an ambitious and a very courageous stance on looking at what the next layer of their ventures are, what the next layer of their products, their services, they're looking to really understand where their market and their targets are going to be in anything from 10, 20, 30 years from now. Those are the most exciting for me, because honestly, you're rewriting and you're recreating history. Or you're almost manifesting what's going to come into history. So, and you're working with clients that then go out and set forth incredible visions. So for me, those are the most challenging, because they often also galvanize global people. So you're working with multiple nationalities.
And I'm sure that presents some really interesting challenges.
That's why we say we're in the business of solving complex challenges, because you can come with a task, but honestly, at the end of the day, the challenge, whatever challenge you have, has complexity built into it. The people that are going to be responsible for putting it out there, all of the different climates and environments that your new idea has to go in and actually, take root and bloom. So I find complex challenges to be the most fascinating thing these days.
So what's the next challenge for you?
The next challenge for me, I believe that the next challenge for me is going to be getting as many people in the world exposed to this transformational way of looking at challenges and actually solving challenges. I think that we're sitting on, I think the whole world is sitting on an opportunity with the amount of opportunities and crises and all these kinds of things of bringing together the diversity of the world, which is now such a shrinking town. I mean, it's no longer so expansive and far apart. We're so interconnected. If we can drive that talent to actually start solving for incredible complex challenges, I think the next big thing for me is being a big part of galvanizing that and actually going out and I want to facilitate the future. I'm really impassioned about what's coming, and I want to be involved in that. So
It shows. Thank you, Kyle.
thank you, Cheryl.